Have you ever walked into a lobby and been confronted with clutter, disarray, and obvious construction? Yeah, most of us have. And then you see this sign that says, "Excuse our mess, work in progress." And you forgive the disarray because you realize that the current state is required to get to a more desirable environment. This is exactly how I choose to look at my life journey, a work in progress. There are 3 different experiences I'd like to share with you this morning. The first is the day that I met my 2 4-H leaders. I was an 11-year-old kid, and not just any 11-year-old kid. I was an 11-year-old overweight girl, completely self-conscious, and really spiraling downward because I couldn't find something about myself that I felt was of value to the world. Enter Lillian and Andy, my leaders. And they saw something, thankfully, that was of promise. And so they challenged me, and they encouraged me, and they supported me. And the first contest that they asked me to participate in was dairy cattle judging. Now, most of you are probably wondering, what in the world is dairy cattle judging? Think Miss America for cows. And that is exactly my job. I was to place cows based upon their desirable composition. What did I learn from this? I am not a good dairy cattle judge. However, I did have a knack for explaining to the judges why I placed them the way I did. And an undiscovered talent was found. To this day, I give Lillian and Andy complete credit for building the foundation of my professional success because they gave me confidence in myself. How many of you are parents? Great. Those of you will probably be able to relate to this next, what I consider absolutely catalytic in my evolving into who I am today. And that was the day when a nurse handed me a wrinkled, slightly red, incredibly tiny, and yet utterly perfect little boy. And I became a mom. And in that moment, I had complete crystal clarity of what the phrase, "your heart lives outside your body," means. Because I knew in that moment that there was absolutely nothing in this world that I wouldn't do to become the kind of human that that little person could look to for guidance in how to interact with the world with compassion, conviction, and value-based courage. Are my husband and I perfect parents? Absolutely not. Are my children perfect? Not even on their best day. Please excuse our mess. We are a work in progress. And finally, 4 years ago, I had the opportunity to team with the University of Minnesota, the United States Department of Agriculture, and collaborate with the University of Agriculture in Meknes, Morocco. Our project was to work with Moroccan farmers, both men and women, and to help them obtain skills in strategic planning and leadership. As I was working in Morocco, my passion for developing people that had always kind of been sort of simmering under the surface rose to this roiling, boiling sense of awareness of what my real purpose in life was supposed to be. And that was to come full circle and become like Lillian and Andy and see potential in people and to help them obtain the skills and the tools that would help them on their life's journey, their work in progress. My request of you this morning is that when you look at me and when you look at your fellow Toastmasters and friends, but most importantly, when you look in the mirror tonight, be accepting and forgiving of the mess, the chaos, and the slightly unattractive things you see, because each and every one of us are a magnificent work in progress.